Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. I had a company recently reached out to me to try out their new watercolor sets, try and review them. So thank you to Wilmer who kindly sent me this cute little portable little watercolor 9-color set. So let's open it. Okay, done. It's really quite a cute little set. Tiny, petite, portable. And look, it fits the size of my palm. I generally have a small hand. I'm a short person that way. So yeah, it can easily fit into your pocket, your bag. So yeah. And this is, I presume, a water tank. So let's open this. Okay, get it out of this. Alright. So, oh yeah, okay. So there you go. You have two plates, two mixing plates, kind of plastic. So you have 4 smaller plates and this large one. So let's see. We have yellow light, oriental orange, permanent red, quinacridone rose, lilac purple, cobalt blue, ultramarine, phthalo green, and paint gray. So let's swatch this out and fill this. So I filled this with water, and apparently there's a clip. I just realized that. Yeah, stupid. So let's see this. This is a traveling watercolor set. So if you're that kind of artist that loves to, art outside your home, this is just right for you. Though I do think that if there was like a ring or something to hold with your finger, it'd be better. So of course, another thing I realized, instead of holding it on in your palm with this tank clipped on, you can actually just turn it like that. Voila. So I'm going to fill up the swatch there. Let me spray some water on this to activate the colors. I have my good Daler Rowney brush here, size 10, a round brush. So let's start with permanent red. Not the best color to start with, but let's see. I'm gonna be quite messy with this. The swatch paper is watercolor paper, so you can see how good it is with the watercolor. Here's the oriental orange. Yellow light. My favorite color, by the way, yellow. So far I'm liking the vibrancy of all the pigments. It's cobalt blue. Okay, this one is rather light. Yeah, too much water. Okay, let me just hold this like this, if it makes any difference. This is lilac purple. Notice the cute cat shape and swatches there. I assume Wilmer's mascot is a cat. The logo itself has a cat's tail. The rose. Ultramarine. I do realize there's no brown here, but yeah, well, you can always mix your own with these colors, like with orange and the blues. And lastly, the gray. Let's see how they dry up. So while that dry up, I prepared this simple permanent black marker lines to test it a bit more. Do some simple testing. Check the opacity of the colors. So again, this is pretty. I'm scared it will just topple over. I think it would have been better if there's a little base, like a straight platform, so it won't topple over easily. Or basically a heavy base. Anyway, let's just try this. Let's do the first color. Let's fade it out. Okay, there's very good opacity there. And let's try the orange. Let's fade it out. More. I'm not the best at swatching watercolors, but it's the best I could do. So the orange, the citruses looks pretty much good with opacity. Let's try the red. A bit more pigment. Okay, let's water it down. This is, by the way, a cold press watercolor paper, 220 GSM. Not the best quality, but that's the best I have right now. This is the cobalt blue. A bit more pigment. And fade it out. Lilac. So far, I think the opacity is not bad. This is the rose. That's what I'm talking about. Thank my luck. Okay, let's try a bit more pigment. There's the ultramarine. The green. Oops, I just mixed. Okay. Okay, I can see opacity for the green is not that good as the rest. Now when it's drying up a little bit more, I can see the yellow opacity is not as good as I thought. Lastly, the grey. So I think we have to wait it out to dry to actually really judge it. Okay, so that's all dried up, and one thing that really screams up to me and impressed me so much is that it's not chalky. See, they're not. So for me, I'm not a professional artist, definitely not a watercolor artist, and whenever I choose watercolors, I don't really need all those expensive professional artist grade, watercolor paints. So for me, the only criteria of watercolors is that it's not chalky, because for me, I always work on closed books, journals. So whenever I close the book, I want that my paint do not transfer over to the next page. So that's my concern. So if that's yours, then this may well as be your choice. So it's good really. So for me, but though if you want to be, go to technical terms where, whether it's streaking or not, then I don't think that this will be a good paint for you, because this is really basically just a hobby watercolor set that you can just use to practice, just to fill in your colors in your journals, everyday journals. But if you really want to use this for your professional art pieces, then I don't think this will be the choice for you really. But for me, it's good because it does the job for me, so yeah. And basically, okay, so as we were testing this paper, all this, as I said, is already dried up, and I can see the opacity is not that good as I thought it was when it was wet. So especially this cobalt blue, green, a bit of the rose here, and of course the yellow. I don't know whether the camera can catch it, but yeah, the opacity is not perfect, but for me, as I say, it will do. I'm not so choosy about my watercolors, as long as it fits my purpose, where it's not, like I say, it's not chalky. And so let me bring you to next day, tomorrow, where I'll do a thorough run test with these paints on a proper sketch. So it's the next day, where it's raining heavily outside. And yes, I'm using my usual 2 cups of water for my paintings. Be using brushes size 6 for 0 and 10. I already prepared a simple pencil drawing there. Let's do our first mix. Just simple wet on dry method. I now need a darker yellow. taking a bit of the pre-mixed orange there. Honestly, a good paper makes all the difference. I'm liking how the paints look on this journal. It's a Hanamule watercolor sketchbook, by the way, cold press with 200 GSM. Gonna use the bigger plate here with the cobalt blue, some green. I'm looking for a aqua shade. I think that would do. Using the same blue mix, I'm adding ultramarine this time. A bit of green steel, and a bit of the, well, black. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I'm used to bigger palettes, so picking up colors on this tiny little thing can prove to be quite a hassle. You basically need to use both your hands to stay the heat. Still, of course, I think it's good if you want something compact with all your primary colors. Actually, you know what? I really do like these paints. One would think it have a cheap watercolor quality, but it's actually quite good for the price. I mean, I'm no expert, but I have used really bad watercolors, and Woomas is far from that. So, before I forget, you can find the amazing product link on my description box below. Its list price is at $12.99. Ugh, that's a bit too much. Let's do some sipping. Yeah, I just destroyed my drawing. Just giving him a grassy landing to stand on. Using my drawing white gel pen for some details. Okay, I'm now using a good thick slobber of the yellow now to try salvage the shirt design. A simple layering technique. Okay, from here on, I'm going choppy with the video, as I was taking too long with so many distractions around me. Oh, one thing I also have to mention is how good a palette it is for a miniature set. Initially, I thought the mixing plates will limit me, but I managed. Of course, I had to have some splatters. Yuck, let's just say there's an overweight butterfly. So to finish it off, I like to outline my watercolor drawings with color pencils, just the main character. Not the most perfect drawing, but oh well. Lastly, of course, sealing it with my stamp. In conclusion, I have to say I'm pretty happy with the Woomer set. I can see myself using it whenever I feel lazy to take out my normal bigger palette. I mean, it sure is convenient. I'm no pro artist, but I truly cannot see any glaring negatives about the paint quality. Then again, like I said earlier, if you're a professional artist, you'd definitely have some say on the cons. But for hobbies like me, it's definitely an alright watercolor set. I think it has 90% of the colors I'd ever need, minus the browns of course. Me thinks it'd be more useful to have browns because I don't think I'm the only artist who usually use browns a lot. I think it could have easily been swapped with the lilac. So, like I said, all in all, it's a good set of paints. I mean, you can get quite a colorful piece like this from this petite little set. Besides, if you prefer your own paints, you can always pluck out these color cubes and replace them with yours. So really, it's a pass for me, this set. Again, you can get the Amazon product link below at my description box. Well, I thank you all for sticking around with me guys. Happy arting and bye bye!